Verge. Verge have made a significant step in the right direction this past year. The question for Verge really is going to be, do we see development now on their blockchain? Because one thing that they've done has put them ahead of almost every crypto in the market right now. However, without development on the ecosystem and in a long-term downtrend, I'm capping how high I think this can go, but there's a couple caveats to that. Before I get into that though, guys, if you are new here, these are the first 26 coins that I actually did videos about when I made this channel, and in videos I bought these coins, and the reason for that is fairly obvious. I expected to make a lot of money from them, which I did. And you can see what the prices of all these coins were when I recorded my videos, and the highs that they hit less than a year and a half on, and what the profit would have been for you if you'd have put in $100 when those videos were released, and then you'd sold about 18 months on. And if you had done that, your net profit after a year and a half would have been over 123 grand, which is not bad. Now I sold all of these. We had the market crash, and since the market crash, I'm buying up new cryptos. And these are coins that I think can do the gains that Phantom did. Now, a reminder, in 2020, no one was talking about Phantom. No one had any discussion about Phantom being a big gainer. I actually did a whole Udemy course about why Phantom would 100x or more. The people that took that course put in thousands of dollars into Phantom. Many of them became millionaires because of that course. So when the coins that I'm buying now are the ones that I think can do those kinds of runs. And I share them on my website, which is copymycrypto.com. There's a link in the description. If you go to the site, you'll see what the members have earned. You'll see what I've said in the past and what happened. There's a clip of the Phantom course. And you can verify it all. It's all public record. Copymycrypto.com is where I dive into the markets every day. I find a coin that can do huge gains. I buy it. I tell the members what the profit can be and what percentage of my money I'm putting in. It means the members make the exact same profit as me, and they don't have to do any work whatsoever. Easy. So if that sounds good to you, head over to the site now, see what it's all about. Now, Verge. First of all, enormous long-term downtrend. Verge did very, very well in the 2017 bull cycle. Because when it launched, it was tiny in terms of price, and it skyrocketed to about 22 cents, 23 cents. In fact, let's double check. 30 cents. All-time high was 30 cents. So if you got in that 2016, 2017 time, you made a lot of money, like millionaires made very, very easily. And here's the thing with Verge. Verge is effectively a payment system. Like, Verge is a privacy-focused crypto and blockchain, and it's basically trying to improve upon the original Bitcoin blockchain. They've got the privacy features, including integrating the anonymity network, Tor, which if you've never used Tor before, Tor is quality, into its wallet called Verge Pay, and providing the option of sending transactions to stealth addresses. Now, it was launched as Dogecoin Dark, a fork of Peercoin. However, it was renamed Verge in order to rebrand and distinguish itself from Doge, because it has no connection to Doge. And the project is now based on the Bitcoin source code. The founder is Justin Velo, also known as Justin Vendetta or Sunarok, a developer with over 20 years of experience in network security and nearly a decade in blockchain tech. He stated that he'd been programming since 8. He'd worked for a Fortune 500 company when in high school, and he started his own network security company. He also was appointed to the advisory board of Token Pay, which is a privacy-focused crypto. Now, what's interesting about Verge right now is there hasn't been a ton of development on Verge. But I could, in theory, see a hell of a lot over the next few years. You've got to remember, this is one of the few cryptos out there that is ISO 20022 compliant. This is what I mean when I say they've put themselves ahead of almost every crypto in the space. There are only 9 cryptocurrencies in total that are compliant with the global standards for payment. This was a huge result for these guys. What it's meant is, like I said, there's only 8 others that are currently compliant. This was a massive milestone, and it marks a turning point for Verge, positioning itself as a digital currency that can have an accelerated adoption as a result of being compliant. What sets Verge apart is that it stands as the pioneering decentralized Internet of Things community-run currency. Now they've had collaborative efforts with Voice Life and Block Dudes, who helped in introducing NFTs. So that's passive income from fractional NFTs through the Verge coin, and then Block Dudes was the driving force behind the implementation process. This was a huge step, and like I said, it cannot be understated how important this is. Because, by the way, of all of the current cryptos that are compliant, Verge is the only one with privacy that is privacy based. None of the others, you've got Cardano, you've got Algorand, you've got XDC Network, you've got IOTA, you've got Hedera, you've got Stellar and XRP. None of them, and Quant, sorry, none of them have any privacy like Verge does. So this opens Verge up for huge growth potential, because in theory, this would be a perfect network for any company to use, because companies do want to ensure a level of privacy with what they're doing, particularly with regards to stuff like transactions that any customers to make. You've got to have that private. So that's a massive step. Like this actually opens the door for Verge to become one of the go-to places for companies to develop. The question is are we going to see that? Because as of right now, I wouldn't be defining Verge as a real strong ecosystem in any way, shape, or form. We can have a look at the overall ecosystem, but they've got vendors, they've got a store, but when we actually take a look at the network overall, it's kind of weak. Let's open Wiki and network status. So, as I said, there's a bunch of vendors. Some are happy to take Verge. Again, my sort of thing with any crypto as a payment solution is I just don't think fundamentally long-term many big businesses... So I don't think big businesses are going to be willing to take a fluctuating currency as payment. I think that would just logically end up going towards stablecoins or a CBDC. But they do have plenty that are taking them. None of them particularly big, but they do have vendors. They have a store. I don't really get too excited about stores. I think maybe they're making a little bit of cash, but I don't think they're going to be making much. Is my honest take on that. The milestones the Verge have achieved over the past year or so have been pretty good. They've added Verge trading pairs on Binance. Verge is available on Gate as a lend and earn feature. It's listed on BYDFI perpetual contracts. It was made a new borrowable asset on cross margin on Binance. They've had some really solid growth in this in all centralized exchange areas. They got added as perpetuals pretty soon after Verge came out with the info about the fact that they are globally compliant. Once that happened, we saw all the futures contracts start being created for all centralized exchanges. But in terms of ecosystem, it's kind of weak. We don't really have much info on. Really, that's what I thought. I thought it would be a wiki of like their ecosystem. So circulating supply, as you can see, 16.5 billion. You can see the hash powers and stuff that have been used. You can see the combined difficulty, you know, and you can see overall the sort of network stats in terms of mining. But like I say, in terms of the ecosystem right now, I think it's quite damn weak. The thing is, I could see this having a huge surge. I could honestly see this having a massive surge in development. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to develop with a really low market cap crypto? For number one, it's like only got 50 million market cap. Number two, it's privacy featured. The fact that it's a privacy-based crypto as well, and it's globally compliant, I think companies should be rushing to try and develop some products on there. I think actually, to be honest, any DeFi developer should be flocking to Verge to try and add quality products to a globally compliant blockchain. The question is do they? I really hope that we do see that, because I actually think Verge is so good. The fundamental downside for Verge right now is they are on an enormous long-term downtrend. You know, they've gone through 2 bull cycles. We went from one high to a low, so it's unlikely that we're going to see a, you know, growth over the next bull cycle higher than anything previous, which is why I'm only kind of thinking this is going to hit 3 cents or so, which, you know, is still about 9x from where it is. But if we see a huge surge in development, if we see some big companies working with Verge, why couldn't this do something special? Could it even be a dollar coin? I don't think so. But the only reason I don't think so is because we've not seen development there. We've not seen a surge in ecosystem growth. But I think we can, because I think it's in their best interest to try and provide as many developers with as many resources as possible, both financial and, you know, in terms of mentorship. Like, if that can be pushed, Verge can do something really special. But until that ecosystem grows, I can't see it necessarily breaking new highs. The only caveat, the big caveat I'll put on that is, look, anything that's globally compliant can host a CBDC. Now, I think the moment that in the next bull cycle where we start seeing tons of discussions about CBDCs, I think Verge pumps, I think IOTA, I think all the 9 that are globally compliant will have pumps off of those news, especially when it's in mainstream media, whether it's, you know, any of those shitty mainstream news channels. I don't care which one. Once those discussions on CBDCs start, those 9 will pump. And maybe it's just an artificial pump, but that artificial pump is enough to take it to something special. But without significant development on the blockchain, I'm limiting how high this can go. Like I say, I'd say 3 cents, but it could be a face melter. It's one of those that's very interesting, because in theory it could be a face melter, because they're the only privacy network globally compliant. If we do see surges in development, if we see a CBDC discussion hitting the mainstream media, maybe it does something. Is one to really pay attention to. Any developments, any new projects being added are so important to know about, because it could be something that just goes wild. Maybe it does break the downtrend. As of right now, I can't see it, but anything's possible. It's kind of that way I'm thinking about it. So let me know what you guys think. If you see a surge of development in Verge, would you be going, I'm buying? Because I think I would. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And guys, if you just want to make the exact same profits as me in the next bull cycle, you can do. Copymycrypto.com is the website I run, where I share with the members every coin that I own. So they see my entire portfolio. Anytime I buy a coin, I let them know what coin I'm buying, why I'm buying it, what kinds of profits I think it can have, what percentage of my money I'm putting in, and they can copy along exactly. It means they make the exact same profits as me. The big bonus as well is they don't have to do any work. They don't have to read all the market news. They don't have to learn about new technologies. They don't have to read white papers, learn about emerging trends even. They can just copy along and make the exact same profits as me. And if that sounds good to you, like I say, go to copymycrypto.com, look through the site, see what I've said on the site. You know, I've spoken about Phantom. There's a little clip from my course about Phantom and why it 100x. There's a clip from one of my old YouTube videos where I'm telling people to get out of a DeFi protocol that shortly after that video lost about $500 million. People got wrecked. Everything on the site is public record, including what the members have earned, so you can verify it all. And if you like what you see, guys, just join me there. And that's it from me. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.